Hello and welcome back to Zhuhai International Circuit in southern China for round 6 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. About 3.5 hours ago we saw the completion of round 5 of the championship, and what a race that one was. This one, reverse grid top 8 from qualifying yesterday. We'll see the two Viper Nisa Racing Saint Leon TCRs start from the front row of the grid. Two this time, because Bill O'Brien, who drove with one of the Volkswagen teams in season 2016, is back in TCR Asia this weekend. He will start from the pole in the number 7 car at the front of the field there, behind the number 65 of the incumbent for the Viper Nisa Racing operation. That, of course, is Malaysia's Douglas Koo. Second row, Jasper Thong, who won round 3 of the championship, the very first event for the new Audi RS3 LMS TCR. His older brother, Sean Thong, a specialist these days in GT3 equipment. Both of them drive, of course, for Audi Hong Kong and Phoenix Racing Asia. Sean, a winner in the Phoenix Racing Asia Audi R8 LMS GT3. Here is the championship points after round 5. Diego Moran made the podium in round 5. He still leads, the Ecuadorian, on 89 points. WS Lai, by virtue of his victory, third place, 81 points. Candidate Kasiri started from pole but had dramas off the start. We'll talk about that more a little bit later. 77 points. AK, 75 by virtue of his victory. It was a R Engineering 1-2 for the Jazz Motorsport Honda operation. And AK inherited the lead after a last lap incident between Sean Thong and team leader WS Lai down at turn number 4. And that really did mix up, turn 9 rather, that really did mix up the equation as we came through to the final. Windscreen wipers on. There is a light drizzle outside. You can see some of the dots there on the lens, but it's hardly hitting the ground. We're hoping that it's very overcast, very humid. We're hoping the wet weather stays away. Certainly Bill O'Brien, an expert, the American, around this circuit. His Black Arts racing team is based here in Zhuhai. He's done a lot of miles around the circuit. So he will be hoping to put in a good showing. He's loving his time with the Viper Nisa Racing operation that runs out of Sepang in Malaysia. He said, I've never had so much fun as this weekend. It really has been a blast, and I'm loving going to battle with Douglas Koo. He said, I tried to push him in the first race and got a bit too carried away with myself, spun down at turn 4. And he said after that I'd lunched my control Michelin tyres, made a bit of a mess of it, and he had to work his way through the field. In the end, finished in position 7. But as a result of contact between Sean Thong, this is of course Jasper Thong, who won the very first race worldwide for the Audi RS3 LMS TCR. There is Sean Thong on screen. The contact between Thong and WS Lai dropped them a little bit further back in the field. In fact, it forced Sean Thong into retirement. He's looking for nothing but victory this time round. Will start on the second row of the grid alongside his younger brother. See the raindrops falling. Still very, very warm. Ambient temperatures in the low to mid-30s. Hopefully this rain, this is as bad as it gets. Diego Moran, the championship points leader. AK sitting right behind the battle for the front 2 on that closing lap, said, I could not believe my luck. We interviewed him in the press conference after the race. He said, I've got no words. I cannot tell you how happy I am, and I have no words to describe how I feel. That was just brilliant. He said, unfortunately it came at the expense of my teammate, but he said, I was handed a lead, and what was I going to do with it? I was going to follow it through to the end. But Lai was certainly the star performer. He led most of round 5, the race earlier today, and really showed the R Engineering team in their first foray outside of their home country of Malaysia have been very, very solid. Learned an awful lot over the 2 events prior to this. Of course, the first event of the year was at their home circuit. There is the man who won round 5 of the championship, the 5th different winner of the 2017 season. Lai is very impressed with the performance of his R Engineering team. Of course, do a lot of work with touring cars in Malaysia, but this was their first real race outside of their home country. Candidate Kasiri, unfortunately for the Thai star, he started from pole position but had an electrical issue off the line. Couldn't get the car to go, rolled around a few corners, eventually drove off the track at effectively walking pace, reset the systems, and after that he was away. He ended up finishing in position number 9, but he was one of the fastest drivers on the circuit. In fact, ultimately, he set the second fastest lap, a 1:46.041. Fastest man across the closing laps, who set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:45.979 for Jasper Thong in the number 3 Audi Hong Kong car. Waiting for a start, the full field is here. Tin Zhuhai, rear of field. The tyres have not had a good weekend so far. He unfortunately had a second tyre failure. Now, here's a little bit of strategy. We've got a little bit of time left. Some of the teams are thinking maybe they will go for the wet weather tyre, on the understanding that perhaps this race could see more heavy rain. We saw it when we were here 3 weeks ago. Very, very unpredictable conditions. In fact, on the second day, or the one day of competition, of course we race now 2 races on the Sunday. The second race was supposed to be dry. The weather was supposed to have cleared and the heavens opened not long before and made things a little bit testing. So very unpredictable. Of course, we're just across the Pearl River from Hong Kong, only about an hour away by ferry, so we're very close to the equator, and very, very humid, damp conditions at the best of times. Rolling into summer. 10-minute board is up, so giving teams a little bit more time to just prepare. Of course, the other thing that is a possibility, if conditions get a little bit cooler, you run that softer wet weather tyre, and sometimes you can use that to your advantage. We've seen that in various championships in the past, so that becomes a strategy play, but I don't think that it's nearly cool enough nor wet enough just yet down there on the grid for teams to make that choice. The race start is delayed by 5 minutes. That's a smart move by race officials given the changeable conditions. The last thing they want is to start this race on time and find that the heavens open a couple of minutes in and all sorts of mayhem ensues on track. So, coming into this round, Diego Moran was the championship points leader. He qualified a little bit further back than he would have liked. In fact, he worked his way through to the tail of the top 5 and thought, well, maybe that's as good as it would be. First, Jasper Thong was unfortunately forced down pit lane whilst in a strong position inside the top 3. He was judged to have been too far forward in his pit box. So you can see the pit box at the front of the cars there. When he came around for the standing start, he'd moved a little bit too far forward and was penalised with a drive-through penalty on about lap 4 in the opening round. That allowed his brother, who'd been locked in behind him, to move into position number 2, and he very quickly applied pressure to WS Lai. That all came down to the final lap. Jasper Thong dived down the inside at turn 9. The two went side by side, but contact ensued on the exit, forced them both into the gravel trap on the outside as AK dutifully took up the front running for the R Engineering team. Crew all preparing to go, and he took the victory, and well-deserved victory. He had to be in a position to do that. Jasper Thong, very, very physical and angry after the race, and rightly so too. He'd worked very, very hard. He was in a position to take the win. He thought he'd planned it out perfectly, applied pressure and executed the move just as he had planned. And for WS Lai, though, a very experienced touring car campaigner at home, he has seen that sort of move a million times in his racing career, so he was more than ready for it. Of course, it was a racing incident, and the two of them were forced off the circuit. Fortunately for Lai, he was able to continue, cross the line in position 2. And Diego Moran, with the demise of the 2 Audis, moved up to position number 3. And he said during the press conference, he said, I'll take the points. I'm quite happy to continue leading the championship, but he said, I want to be on the podium on merit. I want to win races on merit. And we're pushing at the Liqui Moly team, Engstler team, to make sure that we continue to run towards the front of this field. Of course, both he and Kennedy Kasiri came into this event, the second event at Zhuhai for season 2017, as 1-2 in the championship points, only a single point separating them. Now, Diego Moran has a buffer, 8 points now to WS Lai in the championship. Nico and the boys from Nisa Racing that look after that Viper Nisa Racing entry of Douglas Koo, and of course the second entry this weekend of American Bill O'Brien. They will start from the front of this field. Just telling the boys to chill We will wait and see what the conditions are like before we make any kind of move. So, on the starting grid, as Bill O'Brien will start from pole. The second of the Viper racing entries, Say It Leon, will start from position number 2. That, of course, is Douglas Koo. Jasper Thong will start from position 3 alongside older brother Sean Thong on his debut for Audi Hong Kong in the TCR Asia Series. Diego Moran, the championship points leader, will start from position 5. WS Lai, who led so many laps in the opening race here this morning, will start from position 6. AK, who won the opening race this morning, started from the front row from position 2. He will start from position 8. Kennedy Kasiri will be looking for much better things. Finishing 9th was not what he wanted to add to his championship points tally. He will start from position 8. Alex Liu and Eric Kay for the Elegant Racing team, both in identical Say It Leon TCRs, will start from positions 9 and 10. And Tin Sritre will start rear of field, suffering from a second issue with a tyre. Not quite sure what had happened with the setup. Apparently there may have been an issue with the valves on the tyres. During practice, he had a right front engine failure. I'm sorry, he had a right front tyre failure. During that race, he had a left front tyre failure. That forced him into pit lane. Effectively, he was dead last. The team elected not to carry on and to be ready for this second race. He was not classified a finisher. So for Tin Sritre, he drops now to 6th in the championship, 67 points, so 22 points behind points leader Diego Moran. But with 25 points for a win, he could very quickly bring himself back into the equation. Of course, the winner of round 4 here 3 weeks ago. So he has been victorious. That rain looks a little bit more intense. If I look out the back of the commentary position here, there's some heavy clouds in the distance, but it doesn't look too bad. So we shall see. It appears the teams have elected to stay with slick tyres. Certainly it's very warm, it's very dry, apart from the fact that there's a bit of precipitation falling from the sky. Dry as in the circuit itself. The surface has not been particularly slippery. There had been rain the last couple of days in various sessions, and that has certainly cleaned things up. You see it falling just lightly there, but with the warm temperatures, it should retain a certain level of grip. Well, that tends to suggest there's a fair bit of water around. We shall see. It's easy to make all sorts of predictions when you're sitting in a dry commentary box without clear vision to what the weather's going to be when you're behind the wheel of one of these immaculate 2-litre turbo TCR cars. In the throes of battle, things look very different, as they did certainly for Sean Thong and WS Lai after that last race. Again, Sean Thong very disappointed with himself, kicking a tyre barrier, slamming the car door. That is the kind of emotion that drives these guys to continue to race at this level. Sean Thong, very experienced campaigner, of course a multiple race winner in the Audi R8 LMS GT3 in GT Asia Series last year, has been on the podium in a couple of different championships this year, including last weekend on his full-time debut with the Audi R8 LMS Cup for Phoenix Racing Asia, and of course Audi Hong Kong, for which he is an ambassador, just like his mentor and Phoenix Racing Asia co-team principal, Marchi Lee. Marchi competing yesterday in the China GT Championship, the opening round at Golden Port in Beijing. Unfortunately for the team, they didn't have a great deal of success, but on their kickoff 12 months ago, Phoenix Racing Asia is a combination of Marchi Lee's local knowledge and experience and crew with Phoenix Racing, of course, Ernst Moser, the experienced German engineer, success in DTM and of course all the major GT championships, predominantly with Audi product. They formed a partnership last year and won the Pro-Am Cup in the GT Asia Series, and then went on with Alex Young, the Malaysian former Formula One driver, to take Young's third consecutive Audi R8 LMS Cup title. So had been a successful team. 1 minute board. Rain's continuing to fall. Nobody looks too fussed by it at the moment. Let's just hope that everything is okay. It stays dry enough to see this race run through. We don't want to see heavy rain mid-race just to upset things. That'll bring drivers down pit lane to make tyre changes, and that'll really mix up the face of this race. So let's leave it at this, please, and press on with this race. Standing start. The two Vipanese Racing, Saint Leon TCRs will start from the front of this field. They have a sighting lap ahead of them just to check out the conditions of the circuit, get a little bit of temperature into the tyres, get the brain ready to go. And certainly it appeared, at a long chat to Douglas Koo down on the grid. We talked about all sorts of other things apart from the fact about how he was feeling immediately before this race, but word is he's feeling a little nervous, sitting on the front row there beside Bill O'Brien, with whom he battled right through the TCR Asia Cup in season 2016. Douglas going on to place third in the Cup. Bill battling him right through the season. They had an awful lot of fun, and Bill had tried to put a deal together to be Volkswagen for his fifth season campaign. He was unable to make it stick ahead of the first round. So he said he was offered an opportunity to come and drive with the Vipanese Racing operation. He thought, why not? And he's having a blast. There it is. Bill O'Brien will start from pole. Douglas Koo, Vipanese Racing team boss, from position number 2. Position number 3, Jasper Thong for Audi Hong Kong, the winner of round 3. The new Audi RS3 LMS, his brother, Sean Thong, alongside for Audi Hong Kong. Diego Moran, the championship points leader for Liquimoli Team Excellent, will start from position 5 alongside WS Lai, the R Engineering team boss. Abdul Katir, AK, will start from position number 7. Of course, he won round 5 earlier today. Candide Kassiri, the winner of the opening round of the championship of the season, of course, round 1 in Sepang, starts in position 8. It's Alex New and Eric Kay for the Elegant Racing team, and Tin Sritre bringing up the rear of the field. Of course, you'll notice Sritre is back behind his Honda Civic TCR. He started the season in the car that Macau's Felipe de Souza campaigned for Liquimoli Team Engstler last year. Drove it in the first round at Sepang, wasn't 100% comfortable in it, jumped back into the Honda for the first race here at Zhuhai 3 weeks ago, and was quick. Not so lucky in the first race. Second race, dived into the lead from the second row off the start of the reverse top 8 grid, and led the field all the way through to the final corner and across the line. The pressure he got, interestingly, was from the man who had campaigned that Volkswagen Team Thailand had taken delivery of. Felipe de Souza, driving for the Macau David Racing team in a one-off cameo appearance. In the wet, de Souza was just electric, hauled in Sritre's 20-odd second lead over the final laps to close in under the rear wing of the Team Thailand Honda, but unfortunately down at turn 9, went in a little bit too deep under brakes and drove himself in and through the kitty litter. Came out the other side, managed to come back in front of WS Lai, retained that position, and there's a little bit of strategy going on. That is Sean Thong, and I would hazard a guess Candide Kassiri, although it could well be, could be both of the Liquimoli Team Excellent cars coming through. There's Kassiri, could have been Diego Moran. So they may have judged that it is wet enough to go to wets. Well, certainly Douglas Koo, who's going to start on the front row, has decided it is wet enough. Yes, it is coming down outside the commentary window here quite heavily now. So a wise move, and it's nice to be able to do that off the start. They may start from pit lane. Let's just see what the officials are doing. Yeah, they're giving the green light, green flag. So Bill O'Brien's going to use his local knowledge and hope he can get around without any dramas. We should see the lights go out. The rest of the teams will be well behind, but they'll be out on wet weather tyres. What will happen? Red lights on. Red lights off, and we're away for round 6 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. And it's Bill O'Brien jumping to the lead. Jasper Thong just behind him there in the Audi. WS Lai coming up the inside. So too the winner of round 5 this morning, Abdul Katir. Oh, Jasper, just be a little careful moving across there. And Alex Liu too, a great move in the Saint Leon. Is up into position number 4. You can see just how wet the circuit's been with that rain over the last couple of minutes. Rear of field, Eric Kay in the number 98 car. And that is, of course, Tin Sritre immediately in front of him. A lot of moving around on the circuit. AK needs to be careful going down the inside there. Doesn't tag his teammate, a little bit messy. but very, very close as they struggle to try and find some grip. Bill O'Brien, nice work from the Black Arts Racing team boss to be leading the field around. Oh, very sideways for Jasper Thong. So too for the 98 car. That is well out into the kitty litter. That was Eric Kay getting a little bit sideways. Oh, a little bit of a tag there from WS Lai into the rear of Jasper Thong. But Jasper Thong's not giving up that position. He might have learnt something watching Lai run around, trying to keep his brother at bay over the closing stages of round 5 this morning. Oh, no, Bill O'Brien's locked up. You can see he's got the wheels turned. No grip, understeer. Can he get through the gravel? No, straight into the kitty litter. And he'll be really annoyed at himself. He will know better than that, but how slippery is it? How good a job are they doing? Jasper Thong's desperate to make sure that he keeps WS Lai behind, and he hasn't. The Malaysian driver's powered past. Oh, it's getting a little tight. He's got one sail on the outside. There's a lot of contact going on here as they're on the run down through turn 11 and 12. And how about Alex Liu and Eric Kwong? They're doing a brilliant job in the Elegant Racing team cars. A little bit of local knowledge too. Both those drivers, a lot of time around this area. Certainly McInerney's support too, as AK drops a position back. And Eric Kay has come alive. He is up to position number 3. What a great drive for the Elegant Racing team driver. WS Lai continues to lead. Jasper Thong locked in behind him. Need to be very careful coming down to the braking marker. AK's having another look up the inside. Eric Kay's going to go around the outside. This is an old karting trick. More grip on the outside. And he's managed to get alongside Jasper Thong, but Thong's taken the inside running. Come on, Bill, watch out. You got the field coming down the road behind you. Get off the circuit into safety as they dive down into turn number 9. Through now. Eric Kay's up to second. Now Alex Liu's trying to get around Jasper Thong. This is a great job. And where's the rest of the field? Now running on wet tyres. We'll see what the pace is like as they come around for another lap. Alex Liu now has got ahead of Eric Kay. I hadn't realised, a little bit of contact with WS Lai. They don't need to be doing that. Need to be very, very careful. Very solid cars, the TCR touring cars, but you don't want to be banging wheels and aero parts on these cars at all. They're a little bit reliant on some of these things. Certainly having your wheels pointing in the right direction makes it, you can see just a little bit of understeer there too. But Alex Liu, what an inspired start to get himself up into the lead. He got around his teammate Eric Kay whilst we were watching for the battle further forward, as now WS Lai's taken the position back. Eric Kay in position 2, his teammate Alex Liu position 3. Now Eric Kay's taken the lead. This is a fantastic battle. The rain's really mixed things up. They're just on the edge of grip, going very wide around the outside. More grip on the dirty line than, of course, on the race line. Bill O'Brien's car being recovered. AK a little bit further back now, carrying a little bit of weight ballast by virtue of that wind. That will have a slight effect, although in the wet weather, a little bit more weight can be a good advantage. So how about this for the Elegant Racing team? Could it be 1-2? Will WS Lai be able to retain that position as he gets to the braking marker down at turn 1? No, it looks very much like Alex Liu is going to take that position away. And this is a great result for the Elegant Racing team. 1-2. Fantastic in these slippery conditions. Okay, so lap times, you're talking 202s, 203s, 204s. What is the pace of the drivers with the wet tyres fitted? The drivers that dived into pit lane. Leading those at the moment would be Douglas Koo at 201 last time around, 208 for Tin Stritchrai. He's struggling still to carry on with that Team Thailand Honda. Admitted he had a few brake issues this weekend. AK, oh no, I shouldn't have mentioned poor Tin's name. This driver cannot buy any luck. One of the pre-season favourites, as he was last year. We were looking for him to take the fight to Andy Yan right through the championship, but more often than not, 5 times out of 10, Tin Stritchrai was unable to finish it. Here he is again. He won round 4 of the championship right here in damp conditions, but he's just gone in a little bit too deep, spun and into the gravel. That is frustration. Could that be safety car? He's parked in a fairly precarious place. No, he's going to get himself out as Eric Kay continues to lead. The lead out to 1.2 seconds over WS Lai. Alex Liu still in position number 3. Abdul Katir, the winner of the last round, position number 4. Although those positions may well have changed while we're watching that replay of Tin Srichray, the Team Thailand driver. The rain appears to have eased off. In fact, behind me here in the commentary position, it seems to have just about stopped. So what will that do? Have these drivers stuck with slicks made the right choice? What about the drivers on the wet weather tyres? Well, Jasper Thong last time round, 1:56. Race leader Eric Kay crosses the line now, 1:58. There's only about 2 seconds in it. Was it worth being in pit lane? Well, not sure, because at the moment it looks like Jasper Thong's a good 20 seconds or so behind the race leader. You would tend to suggest, unless more rain starts to fall, Eric Kay is well positioned to do the right thing. Jasper Thong now into pit lane. Is it wet enough? Are they going to put wet weather tyres on? That looks like slicks to me. No, that's wet weather tyres. Thank you very much, cameraman. Perfect. So a 1-2 for the Elegant Racing team. Did they manage to sneak slicks on before this race started? Certainly the grip levels look good. That might have been the secret for them. 1:58.9 for Eric Kay last time round. 1:59.3 for his teammate Alex Liu. WS Lai 2:03, dropped almost 4 seconds that time round. 2:07.6 for AK. He's having a bit more of a torrid time. Jasper Thong was positioned in 5th place. He is now in pit lane. Next one on circuit is Douglas Koo, shown in position number 6. He will inherit 5th position from Jasper Thong. Then it's Sean Thong, Kennedy Kasiri, Tin Srichray, we saw retired from this race. So too Bill O'Brien. And devastation for the reigning champion. We've missed that in all of this. Diego Moran was unable to complete the opening lap. So he's either stranded on the circuit, no, in fact he's in pit lane. So the championship points leader will not score at this stage of the race any points in this race. We will see a new championship points leader. If Eric Kay wins this race, we will see the 6th different winner of the season. There is the Liqui Team Exler entry, the number 32 car of Diego Moran in the background as Jasper Thong comes out, and that rain again is looking quite heavy. Wow. Now, what is the strategy? What is the right thing to do? Jasper Thong leaves pit lane, still shown classified in position 5 as Alex Liu comes across the line with Eric Kay. They will put Jasper Thong a lap down unless Jasper can start to make good use of those controlled Michelin wet weather tyres. Fantastic result this would be. Very sorry, great result in the opening race. 1-2 for R Engineering in their maiden season at TCR Asia. Could we see the same thing again for Eric Kay and Alex Liu and the Elegant Racing team? It would be a fairy tale. What a championship it would be. We talk about just how good and how close TCR competition is worldwide. Well, here is another indication of that. This could be your 6th different winner from 6 races. Isn't this what we want? We want mixed competition. And TCR has been delivering this in spades. So 26 seconds behind. WF Thong is in fact Sean Thong. Slight typo there in the entry list. That amended, but that is Sean Thong. He is in position 6. He's now 26 seconds down. 2:01.9 last time round. Douglas Koo, wow, the Malaysian driver on screen, 2 minutes dead. Just a fraction of the pace of Eric Kay, but the mover and shaker in the field is Kennedy Kasiri in the number 2 Liqui Moly Team Exler operation entry, the Volkswagen Golf GDI TCR, position number 7, a 1:57.2 last time round. So he's gone quicker than Douglas Koo. There is WS Lai in position number 3. Douglas Koo he's locked into position. So last time round he was behind AK, now he's taken AK. Here's Sean Thong, he's storming through. So keep an eye on the number 3 car. He seems to have the right tyres now. He's got through the pit stop. He's taken AK, the winner of the last round. The next car in front of him, no, he hasn't. AK's used that grip on the outside to take the position back. Now, one thing they did say, the R Engineering duo, during the press conference, was that they don't like to make it easy for other cars to get past them. There's been a lot of years in Malaysian touring cars, and they were intent this weekend. They said they were a little bit too kind. The last time we were here at Zhuhai, They were intent on making sure they retain track position as much as humanly possible, and that's exactly what AK is doing. It is Jasper Thong's job to get past AK, and he's done it. Oh, AK, keep the foot in. Get out of that gravel. Rain is intensifying again. He's managed to keep the car on the circuit, but certainly for the round 5 winner, that's not what he wanted to do. Fortunately, he's been able to carry on. So Jasper Thong now up to position 6. You can see the rain. I can hear it here on the roof of the building. There's a replay of Jasper Thong's move. He just dived up the inside, the crossover in the Audi Hong Kong RS3 LMS to take that position away from AK. AK carries on, currently leading the TCR Cup Championship points in a battle with Jasper Thong. They came into this round tied on points, or came into this event rather, came into round 5 tied on points. The close of round 5, courtesy of his outright victory. He's effectively an amateur driver taking the win. He moved well ahead in those standings. So Eric Kay leads. 4.8 seconds up now on his teammate Alex Liu. 13 seconds back from the race leader in WSLI. There is Jasper Thong, who's really eked out a pretty impressive lap that last time round. 1:59.3. He and brother Jasper, 2 of the fastest cars on the circuit, but still the fastest car on the circuit, although he's well back, is Cantady Kasiri. We have 8 laps to go in round 6 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. Take a look, and Alex Liu now 5.1 seconds behind his teammate. WSLI 16 seconds back. Douglas Koo 20 seconds back. Jasper Thong was 26 seconds back. He's not making up enough ground per lap to have any impact on the race leader. That was a nice image to see. That is Diego Moran, championship points leader by 8 points coming into this round, rejoining the circuit. So very quickly, he should get himself up inside the top 10. They will be valuable championship points. Okay, it's clear he's not likely to win this race unless something dramatic happens to the 9 cars in front of him. However, valuable championship points in this title race are what he will be looking for. Eric Kay. We talked in the earlier race today that he'd struggled to come to terms with the new Seat Leon. Since he started this season, he and Alex Liu haven't had the greatest time to kick the year off, which was surprising considering the 2 of them were a part of the very first TCR Asia event in Sepang back in May 2015. And both of them ran quite strongly. In fact, Eric Kay driving at that stage in a cameo role for the Craft Bamboo operation, managed to make the podium. Since then, he's been giving himself a bit of a hard time, admitting that he hasn't really got the feel of the car. But in this one, he and Alex Liu have just been incredible. Treacherous conditions against the guys who have dominated the first part of this season. They managed to forge their way through and get to the front very quickly. And Douglas Koo would have to be very, very happy with this. He's continuing to lead a professional racing driver. Jasper Thong's job as an ambassador for Audi Hong Kong is to race and represent Audi Hong Kong and, of course, Phoenix Racing Asia. Douglas Koo, well, he's a businessman. This is his hobby. It's part-time. And he's still running around in position number 4 and matching the pace very much of Jasper Thong behind him. In fact, 2:02.2 that time around, 2-minute dead .1 for Jasper Thong. It was the other way around last lap. Jasper Thong doing a little bit of battling on track. But that's a very impressive performance for Douglas Koo. So 3 Seat Leons in the top 4. It's nice to see the Seat Leon, which has been the incumbent, the car that very much formed the foundations for the TCR series worldwide. Of course, very successful in the first season. Very successful here too in Asia during the first season in 2015. Has had not so much success over recent times, but certainly that is all about to change. Thanks to the Elegant Racing team with this fantastic 1-2. We're halfway through the race. 15 minutes down. Eric Kay, Alex Liu, WSLI, Douglas Koo, Jasper Thong, Abdul Katir, Kennedy Kasiri, Jasper Thong, position number 8. Tin Strichrai, of course, is out of this race, but classified as position 9. That's the number of laps he completed before he's off. Bill O'Brien, saw him spin out. Rather, he didn't spin, he ran deep into the gravel whilst leading the race. Frustration for him. He did a good job to keep the field at bay to that point, but big understeer under brakes and no grip in the slippery conditions. He had no option but to dive into the gravel trap. Unfortunately, get the car back out. It's game over for the American, but we hope we'll see him again this year. Has loved his time with the Viper Racing operation. WS Lai is about to come under attack. Douglas Koo. How would Douglas Koo be if he could manage to make the outright podium? That'd be more celebration in Malaysia. Of course, the Viper Racing operation based at the Sepang circuit. Really does love his TCR touring cars. He's taking out the championship. First round of the 2016 season, trying the light flashing program, and he's gone down the inside. WS is going to just take the apex to the corner. Douglas didn't have any other option but to back out. He certainly seems to have the grip levels now. This has allowed Shaun Thong to close. One thing we know about Shaun Thong is he likes to race, and he's very, very good in the heat of battle. So he could end up taking 2 cars as a result of this. He's also be mindful too that in the opening race, at that corner we've just gone through, turn 9, we saw contact between Lai and Thong for the lead of the race. So he'd be very mindful that incident with the R Engineering team boss is fresh in his mind from this morning. He won't want to see that happen again. Douglas is protecting his line to a point, continuing to battle Shaun Thong, but he knows that's a professional racing driver. He does this for a living. He's given him a little bit of racing room, and that's allowed Shaun Thong through. What can he do now about the Malaysian Honda driver? He's got a Malaysian in front of him, a Malaysian behind him. Honda, Audi, say it. That was Abdul Katir starting to make a little ground on this battle for position. Back in position number 6. Of course, we are at the midpoint of the 2017 season. Next up, an event we're all looking forward to, that's the Bang Sen Grand Prix in Thailand, the street race around the beach venue. First and second in August, Shanghai, China, the venue of the Chinese Formula One Grand Prix, 25th to the 27th of August. The final, 6th to the 8th of October at Zhejiang. Ahead of the opportunity to potentially be a part of a non-championship race at Macau at the season. Best Buys managed to get away again from Shaun Thong. Shaun Thong able to make up a position, of course, on Douglas Koo. Douglas Koo now back to P5. Oh, who is that coming? That may be position. Diogo Moran, even though he seems to be walking this group quite easily, is down at turn 4. Shaun Thong makes the move cleanly, makes it stick, and takes away position number 3. Can he breach the gap to the leaders? 15 seconds in front of him now. Alex Liu, 6 seconds further forward, Eric Kay. Shaun Thong, 1:56. Lap of this race at 1:55.6 for Kennedy Kasiri, currently shown in position number 7. He's a long way back from this lead pack, 53 seconds back from the leaders. Oh, Jasper Thong, no! Oh, frustration for the 17-year-old. The driver who will go down in the Audi history books as being the first to take victory for the RS3 LMS TCR anywhere in the world. He set pole position and took this car to the win in round 3 here 3 weeks ago. He is out of this race. It looks like it may be down in the gravel at turn number 1. Devastation for the 17-year-old. Hasn't had a greatest of luck in the wet, but blisteringly fast in the dry. Very quick in today's first race. Started from the 3rd row of the grid, got to turn 1 in position number 2, drove past his brother, who had trouble getting the car off the line. So the first round of the championship, Jasper knew exactly what that was like. He'd struggled with the same thing at Sepang, 2 bad starts. One of them he had actually started from the front row and slipped very quickly back down the order, being unable to get off the line. He started from pole position for round 3. It was all ahead of him. The pressure was on. The 17-year-old was up to it, fired off the line almost perfectly. Just a whisper of tyre smoke, a little bit of wheel spin as he got the car under power. And he led into turn 1 and led every lap all the way through to the close of round 3, where he was crowned the winner of that round. Eric Kay, what an impressive move. He will be overjoyed at this result. 7 seconds up on his teammate. Jasper Thong, 20 seconds behind the race leader. Brilliant drive too for Alex Liu. What can you say? A nice comeback from the Sayat team. This is what they had been hoping for. And nice too to see a couple of guys who'd been battling towards the back of the pack in the early rounds are right at the front of the pack. There was a strategy decision, perhaps local knowledge played into this. Certainly it was a little unpredictable. Was it going to be full wet? Was it going to be part wet? Would it dry? Would it get wetter? All those factors come into play. The team need to work on a decision as to the best way forward. The drivers need to be able to handle the cars under these somewhat slippery conditions. And that's exactly what the 2 Elegant Racing Team drivers have done, ably supported by their team. It's a little bit of understeer on the run into the final corner. And Eric Kwong crosses the line to lock in lap number 11. Battle further back. Diego Moran has moved onto the tail of Douglas Koo. Douglas Koo hoping to range in on the tail of WS Lai. That's the battle for 4th position. Diego Moran, sadly for him, currently classified in position number 9. He'll be lucky if he can get another couple of laps out of this. With 3 laps to go, he may well be able to jump Jasper Thong. Jasper Thong will be considered a DNF to take it to the flag. Douglas Koo's right on WS Lai. Diego Moran needs to be a little bit careful because he's not in this race for position. He may well be courteous. So certainly a very courteous gentleman. He's good to talk to, always free with his time whenever you need to speak to him. So I'd gather that he's taking an educated look at what's going on in front, and he would not want to interfere too much with Douglas Koo's race, because for Douglas Koo this would be a big coup, managing to get himself past the latest Is this a drag race down to turn 4? Has Douglas got far enough up the inside? No, he hasn't. Jasper Thong's really not pulling away from this pack. 2:02 last time around, 2:02 dead. Fastest man on the track still Kennedy Kasiri, 1:59.6, not the weekend Thai driver was looking for. It all started from pole position this morning in round 5. The car failed to get off the line, an electrical issue, which it took him half a lap to sort. By that stage he was dead last. Managed to work his way back through and finish in position number 9 after going a lap down. For Kennedy Kasiri, wasn't what he was hoping for, certainly not after top qualifying and winning the opening round of the championship. Douglas Koo elected to let Diego Moran through. No, he hasn't. Moran just sitting there and watching brief, allowing the battle in front of him to unfold. As Eric Kay continues to punch out laps in the low 2:03s. 6.3 seconds up on his teammate. 2:02.7 for WS last time around, 2:03 dead. For Douglas Koo, he's faster than the race leader. Jasper Thong, 2:02.3. Diego Moran decides no. You've had your go. Logan WS Lai said, I can't get my Team Excellent machine past him before the end of this race. Jasper Thong now. He is 17 seconds back from the race leader, so nothing much has changed there with 2 laps to go. In the battle for the cup, it's all about Abdul Katir. Currently, Douglas Koo is leading race in the Cup points. Into this round, third position. 68 points. Jasper Thong on top of TCR Asia Cup points. Of course, is the winner of round 5, and that was Abdul Katir. Is now Diego Moran, fires down the inside at turn 9. Take the position of WS Live, and this is track position. This is just unlapping himself. It's a long way to go if he wants to try and move too much further forward. A lap and a half to go. Screen wipers still going. This is not really what the teams were hoping for. They were hoping for a good, solid battle from start to finish. But as they say, conditions for so they're all facing the same issue. It's how best to manage it. What a strategy at times. Some drivers elected, it seems, to start on clear at times. Others elected to dive into pit lane to make that change before the start of the race. Others still, Jasper Thong was probably one of those, left it a few laps before coming in the pit lane. Really that big a dry line starting to appear. You still can see the mist. There is a little line in various parts of the circuit. We're on to the last lap, and this will be 6 rounds, 6 different winners. And what a great result this will be for Eric Kwong. He's on the charge across the final half of the lap, and a 1-2 for the Elegant Racing team. This has been a real fairy tale for 2 teams. Our Engineering in the 5th round of the championship this morning, and the Elegant Racing team for round 6. Victory to Eric Kay, and a first podium for the year for both those drivers. Alex Liu looks destined to come across the line in position number 2 as they dive down towards the finish of this race. Turn 9 through to turn 10, up to the turn 11, 12 hairpin, and the long run down the back straight to the final corner. And our 6th different winner of the season. Sean Thong, there he is. He's pulled in some serious ground in the last couple of laps, but still too far back to make a big impact. Behind him on track is Diego Moran, but unfortunately for Moran, he's still shown in position number 9. Here he comes, Eric Kwong. He will be your winner for round 6 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series, and what a result for Elegant Racing Team. 1-2, Alex Liu, his teammate, coming across the line in position 2. Victory, and 1-2 for the Sayat Leon team. Great result for Sayat. Great result for the series. Sean Thong, best he could do on the day, 3rd in these conditions. Diego Moran, sadly for the Ecuadorian, it looks like he will no longer lead the championship points. That could now go to the man that comes across the line in position 4, WS Live, who had moved himself into position 2 in the points. He will cross the line for P4. That will give him a very handy 12 points, moving to 93 points. For Diego Moran, take away a few less than that. Okay, so we'll head down onto the grid and talk to the winners and come back to you for a full wrap before we do the presentation. So stand by for interviews with the race winners.
Congratulations, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Yeah.
Eric, that was an amazing drive. You've had a fairly tough start to the year, and you've said a few times that you'd like to have been able to perform like this, but how did you pull this one off? That was a great drive.
Well, I think we should thank to the team, and they made the right decision to change the wet tire at the beginning. And yeah, and while others are using dry, and we got a big advantage on that, and the rain gap bigger and bigger. And then I just focus what I'm doing, what I should do. I just drive, make no mistake, and just finish the race and then take the lead. Yeah.
A very classy field, the DCR Asia Series this year, and you had a lot of guys with a lot of pace and wet weather tyres coming fast behind you, but that didn't slow you down at all.
Well, I just have to do what I should do. I mean, just keep focused, no mistake, don't look around, and then just brake where you should be, and then just drive. No stupid mistake.
What does this mean to the Elegant Racing team?
Well, this means a lot to us. I mean, we have a rough start, and we didn't start well, and I mean, God helps, and we did it. Yes.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you so much.
Alex, you must be very proud about that result. It's been a tough start to the year, but fantastic start. What was it like for you behind the wheel, battling with the guys in front of you?
Yes, I'm very happy because I go out, you try, and 1 minute is wet. First, thank you my team. Good, very wet setting for me. But I try to very safety because wet very have important happen. Yes.
Congratulations, great result for the Elegant Racing team.
I very thank my team and my family and my organize give the very well race. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, over in front of your car.
Yep.
Jasper Thong, probably not the weekend you really wanted. You look like you worked really hard, but what was that like with the changeable conditions almost every lap?
I actually think I made the right call. So in the installation lap, I was still on slicks, and the rain just get bigger and bigger, and to an extent I can't even count how many raindrops. And I think it's actually a good move to come into the pit. And I know I will lose probably half a lap, but it all makes it up. It's just pity that we didn't make the call earlier. Otherwise, I think we could have won this race much easier.
How has your first weekend in TCR Asia Series been? Disappointment, obviously, in that first race, but overall, what was the experience like?
It's a good experience to put into pocket, especially today, because you get to start in slicks where it starts to rain. So it's really a trick for your adaptation. So I think I coped quite well with it, but obviously they've done it better. Yeah, and I think it's a really valuable experience. So hopefully this can help my race in few further changing conditions.
Congratulations, well done.
Okay.
Eric Kwong, the winner of round 6 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series, and very, very happy man. Of course, both of them thanking their Elegant Racing team for the result. But WS Lai, as we predicted, moves to the top of the championship points table. 93 points from Diego Moran, 89. Kennedy Kasiri still in the hunt, 85 points. Abdul Katir, courtesy of his victory in round 5, on 81 points. And it's Jasper Thong and Tin Sritrai. TCR Asia Series Cup, Katir, again, courtesy of his victory. Unfortunately for Jasper Thong, a DNF hasn't helped his forward progress. The Malaysians topping the points, 132 to 112. Alex Liu, by virtue of that great result, 75 points. Eric Kay took full points to move up into position number 4. So that's it for us. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you stick with us. The big one will be the Bang Sen Street race in Thailand on the 1st and 2nd of July. Rounds number 7 and 8 of the 2017 TCR Asia Series. Will we see the 7th and 8th winners of the season? 6 winners so far, and what a championship it has turned out to be. Thanks for joining us. Keep up to date with www.asia.tcr-series.com. Of course, Facebook on TCR Asia Series, and also on Twitter. We'll see you very soon.